My high school experience, for the most part, was not memorable, but there is a lesson that stuck with me. And in freshman year in earth science, the exercise was write 7 attributes of a pebble. Well, that's easy. I'll just use the 5 senses of touch, taste, scent, sight, hearing. And through mostly touch, the pebble is cool, it's hard, it's light, it's smooth. Through sight, it's white, it's tasteless, senseless. Didn't use hearing, but didn't have to because there are my 7 attributes. At the end, the professor stood in front of a chalkboard and started going student by student and listing all the attributes that everybody came up with. Well, obviously, they're going to come up with the same ones, maybe one or two additional, but this was my perspective. What happens when we combine the perspectives of every individual in the classroom? Well, the chalkboard wound up looking something like this. And people were using different perspectives. How is that possible? And look at all these attributes people came up with. Well, the pebble's non-radioactive. If you're around a bunch of pebbles, you don't have to worry about getting damaged by gamma rays. It's non-metal, meaning it doesn't have any characteristics related to metal. For example, if you hold a magnet next to it, you're not going to have any reaction. When it comes to float or sink, it sinks. It's feldspar and quartz is mostly what they're made up with. It's water repellent. If you put it in water, it's not going to absorb water like a sponge. It's inanimate. There's no life to it. It's a lifeless object. It is worthless. Here we're looking at from an economic perspective. If you go into a store with a bunch of pebbles, you're probably not going to be able to exchange it for any goods or services. Abundant, small, eroded, reflective, old, rounded, no sharp edges, non-flammable, indigestible. Here's some more vision perspectives. Egg-like, pearly, opaque. You can't see through it. If you create a pair of eyeglasses using pebbles as lenses, you won't be able to see a thing. Strong, that's something you can break with your fingers. So my goodness, look at all these attributes, and obviously if you expanded this, you would just keep adding more and more and more. And at this point, the light bulbs in my head started to go off. I realized that I look through life with blinders, just my own perspective. And if I was able to gather the perspective of other people, imagine how much wider my perspective and more holistic my perspective of the world would be. And also, my goodness, if you're able to list this many attributes as something as a lifeless pebble, imagine listing all the attributes for every part in the whole of a plant or an insect. Imagine listing every attribute of a human, from the bone structure of the pinky toe to the nervous system. When you look at a human in this way, holistically, you realize that things such as skin color are such minute parts of the equation, and that things like racism, believing that people are either superior or inferior based on how far from the equator their ancestors lived, not only is it wrong morally, but it makes absolutely no sense logically as well. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, please hit that like button, subscribe, and that bell. Until next time, amigos.
Cisco, do we have to leave all our good friends now?
Only until next time, Pancho. Adios, amigos.